start recording.
Yep, I got it.
Sorry, you want me to restart?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and go back a screen. Okay, tonight, guys, we're learning about ancestor altars and witchcraft, Wicca, Hoodoo, Voodoo, Neopaganism, Catholicism, Syncretism, and modern occultism. We're going to compare them all and see how they all work together in witchcraft. Introduction. We're going to start with Wiccan altars tonight. Ancestral altars serve as sacred bridges between the living and the dead, creating a tangible connection to those who came before us. While practices vary widely across cultures, they all share a universal impulse to honor, remember, and seek guidance from ancestors. This presentation explores the physical structure, symbolic elements, ritual functions, and cosmic correspondences of ancestral altars across multiple mediums and traditions. Core traditions covered. We will examine Wicca, Neopaganism, Hoodoo, which is African American folk magic, Louisiana Voodoo, Catholic Syncretism, as it appears in various traditions, and modern occultism, including crossroads symbolism. The Neopagan, Wiccan, Ancestral Altar is what we're going to start out with first. The Wiccan Ancestral Altar is a personal and nature-centered. Hold on a second. My phone is. I need to put my phone on vibrate because it's about to go off. It's going off. Sorry about that. The Wiccan Ancestral Altar is personal and nature-centered, deeply tied to the wheel of the year, especially Samhain, built on the foundation of the four elements: earth, air, fire, water. These altars focus on reflection, remembrance, and reciprocity with the spirit world. If you'll notice the altar that we have set up on here, you can just set up your altar pretty much any way that you want. But what you have on here is you have your god and your goddess, you have your candles, you have your offering, you have your incense, your athame, your wand, your pinnacle, your offering, your salt, your bell, and your crystals. Now, how that corresponds is you have earth, which is your pinnacle, which is green, black, brown, crystal, soil, and food are the items it stands for, and your herbs are patchouli and cinnamon. Air, we have wand, which is yellow and white. The items are incense, feathers, and bells. The herbs are sandalwood and frankincense. The next element is fire, which is your chalice, which is red, orange, or gold. Candles, cauldron is your items that it represents. Your herbs are dragon's blood and sage. The next one is water, which is your chalice, and it is the color of blue. It also stands for water, wine, and seashells. Rose, calendria, and wormwood are your herbs. Hoodoo and Louisiana Voodoo Altars. Hoodoo Ancestor Altars. Hoodoo altars are practical, intuitive, and deeply personal. Unlike many formal religious traditions, Hoodooans, no formal priesthood, is rooted in family and folk wisdom. The emphasis is placed on sincerity over ritual complexity, making these altars accessible to anyone seeking connection with the ancestors. Key items are white cloth, which stands for purity and peace, glass of water, which is your spiritual refreshment, white candle, which is your light and your guidance, photos of your ancestors, personalized and graveyard dirt connection to the deceased. The simplicity of Hoodoo altars reflects in its traditions, emphasis on direct, heartfelt communication with ancestors. Practitioners speak to the ancestors as they would to be living members, often sharing meals, stories, and requests for guidance. And we have a picture over the side over here of a Louisiana Voodoo altar. And it is elaborate, centric, and communal and network in nature. They honor both the spirits and the ancestors, blending the African spiritual tradition with Catholic imaginary
Imagery.
and practices. These altars are often visually striking and rich with symbolic meaning. This example here is Marie Laveau's altar. Now, how they know exactly what her altar looks like, I don't know, considering how many years ago it was she was around. But if you'll notice, she has 7 white candles. There's 7 white candles. She has can you kind of move it down just a little bit so I can read the bottom? There we go. 7 white candles representing the 7 African powers, a snake figurine, which is a symbol of Gambala, which is, and I wrote that down. Hold on a second. I have the actual definition of what that is. That is the intermediate between the supreme superior being and humans. So that is a symbol of that. Saint statues, including St. Peter and the Virgin Mary, along with offerings of coffee, rum, flowers, and graveyard dirt. Comparative altar components. Aspect, purpose. Louisiana Voodoo. That is for worshiping. It's pronounced Loa. And what that is just spirits. That's the only thing it stands for is spirits. I looked that up today as well. So what it is they're worshiping the spirit and providing healing through the for the community. Hoodoo, we have seek personal guidance, spiritual power from ancestors, and then you have your Wiccan Neopagan, which is seasonal remembrance and honoring the ancestral lineage. Components. Louisiana Voodoo. We have the Catholic statues, the saint statues, the snake figurine, Gregory bags, which is the same thing as what we do mojo bags or sachets, same thing. Ritual objects. In Hoodoo, they have a glass of water, a white candle, photos, personal relics, and graveyard dirt. Wiccan Neopaganism. Elemental tools such as a pentacle, wand, chalice, and actame, seasonal decorations. Offerings. Offerings with Louisiana Hoodoo are rum, cigars, coffee, spicy foods, flowers, and coins. And Hoodoo is fried chicken, candy, tobacco, favorite foods of the deceased. Wiccan Neopaganism, bread, honey, cider, apples, and seasonal harvest food. Communication. Louisiana Voodoo. It is spirit presentation, drumming, ritual, dance, and divination. Hoodoo, direct speaking, dreams, signs, intuitive messages. And Wiccan Neopaganism, meditation, journaling, scrying, ritual observance. And last is the structure. Louisiana Voodoo is hierarchical, and initiated. Required training under a priest or priestess. Hoodoo, individual and open, accessible to anyone with sincere intent. So a lot of times you'll find with voodoo, you have to be actually invited in. With hoodoo, you do not necessarily. And then you have Wicca and Neopaganism, personal and cynical, follows the wheel of the year, the Sabbaths. Catholic syncretism and saints. Hold on a second, I gotta sneeze. Sorry about that.
Bless you.
My allergies are killing me. The role of the Catholic saints in ancestral work varies significantly by tradition. In synchronous religions like Louisiana Voodoo and Santeria, saints serve as masks of or manifestations for African spirits, allowing practitioners to maintain their ancestral traditions under colonial depression. In Hoodoo, the saints function as protective allies and righteous ancestors who can intercede on behalf of the living. In Wicca and Neopaganism practice, Catholic imagery has minimal influence unless personally chosen by the individual practitioner. The tradition, Louisiana Voodoo, the role of the saint, is to manifest the Loa, which is just the spirit. Examples are Legba, Papa Legba, who's St. Peter, and then you have Uu, which is the Saint Barbara, and the focus is on spiritual communication. We have the next one is the, as I say, Italian voodoo?
Haitian.
Haitian voodoo. Why in the world I say Italian? Haitian voodoo. Acquired with, equated with spirit. I can't read that one. The next one over, Freda,
Azila
is
Freda,
Freda,
Master Azila Freda. So
Gila
Frida,
Mater
So it-
Dolorosa. Okay, Mater Dolorosa is Our Lady of Sorrows.
Okay, Our Lady of Sorrows. It's
She's
honoring,
the Virgin Mary.
okay, honoring greedy spirits. When you have Santeria, which is linked to Oshea, which is
The
Our Lady of
Orishas.
Charity. Is that who it is?
Yes.
Okay. And that is for balance with the spirit, which is the same thing. That's what that means in that tradition. The next one is the Catholicism, which is the, no, Hoodoo. Sorry about that. I can't read that one.
Cultural and protective tools.
Thank you, Karen.
Mhm.
And that is Saint, is that Expedia?
Expedite.
Expedite.
No, expedite. Like I'm going to
Expedite.
expedite your prayers. I mean,
Okay, and Saint Michael. I'm not familiar with my saints, guys, as you can tell.
That's okay.
yeah.
Focus, ancestral lineage. And last is Wicca, which optional cultural reference. It says it's rarely used, but to be honest with you, I myself use novena candles all day long.
They're great.
They are absolutely wonderful. And to let you guys know, this is what they look like. If you can see on my camera.
You can get them without the imagery too. You
Mm-hmm.
can get them in just a plain clear glass tube,
Yeah, they have, and to let you know,
usually in red or white.
they have them the plain ones, and they have the colored different colored ones with the plain on them as well. Next we're gonna go over crossroads as a nexus, a magical nexus. The crossroads represents a liminal space, a threshold between the worlds where the veil between the physical and the spiritual realms grows thin. It serves as a site of decisions, transformation, and spiritual contact across numerous magical traditions. Far from being associated with malevolent forces, the crossroads is a sacred meeting place with powerful spirits and deities. It is not satanic necessarily, but it is often, well, it's not satanic. It is often confused with the,
Well, it's often a meeting
well, no,
place,
I'm
it
going to go
says.
off of it a little bit because
Okay.
I've actually read a little bit more on it.
Yeah, go.
But what I was going to say is it's not
Go, girl.
satanic, but at the same time, you are going to create a covenant of some sort. So keep that in mind as we read this and we go along with the protocols. It's often a meeting place of Legba, Papa Legba, Isu and Hecate, ancient spirits who guarded the gates between the worlds. Crossroads across traditions. Ancient Greece, sacred to the goddess Hecate, who was honored as the guardian of the crossroads, doorways, and boundaries. Again, it's a liminal space. Offerings are left at the crossroads at night to gain her favor and protection. European folklore. Crossroads were often used as burial sites for outcasts and those who died by suicide. They were considered haunted places where spirits lingered between the worlds. African. Papa
The de-
Legba is voodoo. So Papa Legba and voodoo serves as the gatekeeper who must be petitioned first before any other spirit work. And he is a very jealous god, so he expects to be greeted right off. And he expects respect when you actually greet him. Isu and Pancagria, Pamagria,
Pombagira. Pombagira.
Pamagita, okay.
That is Portuguese.
And I'm sorry, do what?
That name is Portuguese. Pombagira.
Pamagita, okay. Ah.
yeah, because some of the African diaspora ended up in Portugal. That's why.
Aha.
African and Brazilian. Actually, it's the
Mhm.
Brazilians that use pombagiras more often.
Okay, it's Brazilian, more Brazilian. The Congo Cosmin represents
Cosmogram.
represents a spiritual map of the crossroads between the living and the dead. Now, the crossroads ritual protocol. To perform crossroads work, practitioners go to a physical crossroad, either a T intersection or an X intersection. They make offerings such as alcohol, tobacco, coins, and incense to the guardian spirits of that place. The petition is stated clearly, directly, Once work is complete, the practitioner must leave without looking back. This is a sign of respect and trust that the spirits fulfill their end of the covenant. So whenever you do what you do, just turn around and walk and don't say anything, just go. One more over. Because that's the one I
Oh.
just went over. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to go into crossroads and graveyard dirt and what's the difference. Now there's cemetery dirt and there's graveyard dirt. One's consecrated ground and the other one is not consecrated ground. Crossroads dirt is, crossroads is any intersection with two or more paths, most powerfully to the T-juncture or the X-shaped crossing. In spiritual terms, it is a liminal space. Again, not here, not there, but in between. Like your threshold in your house, that's considered a liminal space as well. So liminal spaces are something that I'm hoping to do a class on later on to go into more detail about that. But it's in between. It is where decisions are made, fates are sealed, and spirits are summoned. Graveyard dirt is soil collected from a burial site, often from a specific grave, a cemetery, or the cemetery gates or grounds, or crossroads within a graveyard. It is not quote unquote dirt in a mundane sense, but in folk magic, it is considered earth. Not all graveyards are consecrated. This soil is imbued with the energy of the deceased, the land, and the spirits who walk between them. In African American hoodoo and witchcraft, graveyard dirt is one of the most potent magical ingredients. Its power depends on whose grave it comes from. A child's grave is used for innocence, uncrossings, or gentle work. A woman's grave, love, intuition, and female magic, feminine magic. A man's grave for strength, justice, and commanding spirits. Criminal or murderer's grave, aggressive work such as binding and banishing. However, use extreme caution because these people were not honest in life. They're not necessarily going to be honest in death. So be careful when you do that. I would study up on it before you do it.
A
Be
lot,
careful what you ask for. You just might get it.
definitely. You don't
Ancestors'
need to go.
grave, protection, lineage, blessings, and ancestral communications. Magical uses of graveyard dirt, protection, using floor washes and place in sachets. Binding and justice work, add to candles, poppets, jars to quote unquote anchor a spirit's influence. Ancestral altars, a small dish of dirt serves as a direct line to the deceased. In crossroad rituals, scattering is to seal the pact and to send the energy. In Louisiana Voodoo, graveyard dirt, such as dirt from Marie Laveau's tomb, is especially prized, as it's said to carry her enduring power as a spiritual matriarch. The ethical collection and reciprocity. Number 1, ask permission before entering the cemetery. You can say it or you can say it in your head, however you want to do it, but ask permission. Number 2, leave an offering. 3 coins, often pennies. That is for the dead to get to the other side and back. It goes with the Grim Reaper. Tobacco, leave a pinch of tobacco. Rum or flowers. Take only what you need. A small handful is sufficient. A little goes a long way in spell work. Never take from a fresh grave less than a year old because the spirit is still in transition and you don't want to interrupt that. The practice reflects a core principle of folk magic. Nothing is to be taken without giving back. The dead are not resources but allies and must be treated with dignity. Next slide. Okay. The crossroad is not satanic. It's often a meeting place of Legba, Yushu, Hecate, ancient spirits who guard the gates between the worlds. However, because that's pretty much the same thing I said before, the idea of a demon being at the crossroads is a quote unquote Christian belief, and more or less there are gods, goddesses, but there are also tricksters that also guard the gates. So you have to be careful whenever you are working with the crossroads, because the trickster god,
Can I say something on this?
I'm sorry, do what, Audrey?
I said, can I say something on this?
Yeah.
Okay. So many of you guys know I do personal work with the dead. As for the crossroads situation, personal experience, when it comes to crossroads, you want to go in with respect, like it's been being said, but you also want to go in with a slight bit of hesitation, because the way some of these gods operate, Loki's kind of known to be a little bit there at the crossroads. He just likes to play tricks. In all honesty, he's just Loki. It's the best way to describe it. But going in with the mindset that you're coming to ask, I don't want to say like a favor, but you're coming to request and things of that nature. Keep your guard up, keep your spiritual guards up, keep your mental guards up, because they, not only will these gods and goddesses play tricks with you, but the dead at the crossroad will play tricks on you. I've had it happen to where I entered the crossroad, and it wasn't even like intentionally I was going to the crossroad, but I've entered a crossroad, and this was when I lived in Tennessee. I entered the crossroad, and honestly, I lost track of 2 hours and didn't even realize 2 hours had passed after entering that crossroad.
One thing I will say, working with both Loki and Hecate, tricksters often show up at the crossroads a lot more. And like you said before, the dead also have that bit of energy. They're restless, right? So it's like they don't really have anything else, going on. And if you enter their space disrespectfully, or in their minds it's disrespectfully, they will 100% mess with you. And that's why we need a guardian of the crossroads in the first place, because they're not safe. They're not just somewhere you can just pass through and not be affected.
Especially if you're in a place like the deep south, where there's a lot of country roads and a lot of crossroads and in the deep south. That land was tied to so many horrible things. So many have died, whether it's Native American, whether it's Civil War, whatever the case may be. A lot of that energy stays.
And there's a lot of places, especially I live in North Carolina, so especially here, where so many battles have been fought, not just the Native American, not just Civil War battles here, but we have interpersonal riots and stuff, and all kinds of stuff throughout history. So that stuff stays. The land remembers those scars. So keep that in mind when you're entering the land of the scarred.
Okay,
Sorry.
not to be rude, but let's get back to the presentation and try to hold your questions and stuff for the end, or type them in the chat, please.
Not a problem.
Some beings that you will encounter. Actually, the funny thing about it is what they were just talking about, we're going to go into in a second. Some beings you may encounter: Papa Legba, who's voodoo, Rudon, Louisiana Voodoo. He
Shh,
appears
you don't
okay,
need
his role,
to.
first of all, is opener of the gates, master of speech, and emissary between the human and the spirit, which is the Loa. Now, his appearance, he will appear sometimes as an old man with a cane, a straw hat, and a pipe. Sometimes he has dogs with him as well. He wants respect and offering. He likes candy, cigars, and rum, and to be greeted first with at any ceremony. He is very jealous. Like I said, you don't greet him first. That's considered disrespect. Without his permission, no spirit can be contacted. So if you go in there automatically right off and disrespect him, you're not going to speak with who you need to speak with, or whoever he has that you want to communicate with. He's not evil, but he's necessary. Think of him as a customs officer. He controls access and does not judge. So he's kind of like a customs officer. Now, next we have Hecate, which is the ancient Greek witchcraft. Her role is goddess of the crossroads, ghosts, and herbal magic. Ritual. Okay, this is something that we learned last week. The Daipanon, which is all that is the monthly dark moon offering. That's all that is. We talked about that last week. We couldn't figure out necessarily what it was. I looked it up, and that's what it is. It's just your monthly dark moon offering. The dark moon this month is on September 30th, which we're going to do our Samhain ritual that night, guys. So keep that in mind if you're down the road.
Yes, Rebecca, the answer to your question.
Sorry, I didn't want to have to interrupt you
It's
guys. I
okay.
gotta go. I love
No,
you
it's
guys.
all
but
right. Love you.
I
Love you.
love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Restless, okay. Ritual. The monthly dark moon offering left at the crossroads to feed the restless spirits and purify the household. What she wants devotion, torches, garlic, and service to the unseen. Her legacy is she is the original witch of the crossroads, guide of those who walk between the worlds. Festivals and observations, which we have Samhain, which is your October 31st, November 1st for your Wiccan pagans. Your, how do you say that again?
What?
The False Gras.
Where are we?
I got it. November
Oh,
1st through November
yeah.
2nd, Haitian Voodoo. All Saints, All Souls Days, November 1st, November 2nd, gets the Catholic and some Christian religions. Ethical afterthoughts. Never take any dirt without permission or offering. If you adopt or strange work with spirits, ancestors, quote unquote, guides, teachers. If you're adopted or you're estranged from your family, you can work with your spirit guide. You can work with teachers from the other side. You don't have to necessarily have your ancestors there. They are considered your spirit ancestors. The ethics of the pack. The spirits of the crossroads do not demand souls. They do, however, demand respect, clarity, and reciprocity. They offer access to other spirits, ancestors, and hidden knowledge, clarity in decision making, or, talking about trickster gods, they offer spiritual confusion, power for justice, protection, and transformation, truth revealing what is refused to be seen.
Mm-mm.
The ethics of the pact still. The spirits of the crossroads do not demand security, the unseen. We've already went through all that. What they require, though, they require clear intent. Vague wishes are ignored. Offerings are food, drink, tobacco, symbolic items such as coins and candles. Follow through. If you promise to make changes in your life, you must do so. Because, again, you've created a covenant, and covenant has a consequence. You're not going to give your soul up necessarily, but if you say, if you give me this, I'll do this, then if they grant your wish, they're obviously expecting you to change what you're going to change or do what you say you're going to do. If you don't, then be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. And even when you go in the crossroads, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. The pact
Very
is, like I
beautiful.
said, the pact is not a covenant. Cosmic correspondences and optimal timing. Aligning altar work with universal forces amplifies the power and effectiveness of ancestral communication. By understanding the correspondences between elements, planets, days of the week, and lunar phases, practitioners can time their rituals can time their rituals for maximum spiritual resonance. Elemental and planetary alignments. Earth corresponds to Saturn and Gaia, representing grounding, stability, and ancestral roots. Cosmic correspondence and optical timing. Water, signs of Neptune and Poseidon, governing emotion, intuition, and psychic connection. Fire connects to the sun and Mars, channels will, transformation, and spiritual power. Air resonates with Mercury, facilitating communication, clarity, and messages from beyond.
And right now.
Optimal timing for ancestral work.
Yes.
Samhain, which is where we're heading, October 31st, November 1st. The veil between the worlds is thinnest in Wiccan tradition. Fête de Gras, which is November the 1st and 2nd. Voodoo Festival of the Dead, honoring the Geo spirits. Dark Moon, ideal for introspect and deep spirit contact. Eclipses, powerful windows for profound transformation. Midnight or dawn, liminal hours of day and night. So again, your liminal space, those are your liminal hours. Offerings, crystals, herbs, and maintenance. Offerings across traditions. Wicca seasonal foods such as pumpkins, apples during Samhain, along with honey and mead. These offerings reflect the harvest and the cycle of nature. Hoodoo, coffee, fried chicken, Dr. Pepper, cigars, and candy. Practitioners offer what their ancestors loved in life, creating a personal and intimate connection. Voodoo, rum, spicy foods, flowers, and coins. These offerings are honoring both the Loa and the ancestors, acknowledging their continued presence and power. Often, what they loved in life, they're still going to like in death. Crystals and herbs for ancestral altars. Crystals, black tourmaline, protection for negative energy and, I'm sorry, protection from negative energy and psychic attacks. Smoky quartz, grounding and connecting with the earth's energy. Amethyst, enhancing spiritual connection and intuition. Herbs, mugwort for psychic opening and dream. Rosemary, remembrancing, honoring the dead. And we have pictures up here of the crystals, protection and grounding crystals. Maintaining your ancestral altar. Cleanse. Use smoke from sage or Palo Santos. Sound. Mulberry. That's kind of on top of each other. Sorry guys, can't read it. Rosemary.
No, I think it's talking about singing bowls,
And
sound
singing bowls.
cleansing.
Something more there on singing bowls, a visualization techniques to clear stagnant energy from the altar space. Refresh offerings. Replace offerings weekly on holy days. Remove the food and drink to prevent decay and show respect to the ancestors. Keep it. Clutter blocks energy. Flow. Maintain a clean. Keep it and
Organized
as
state.
a new space that honors the sacredness of the altar. Speak to ancestors. Even a simple "I remember you" matters.
Oh, what?
Is there something after that? Next
Hold on one
slide.
second. Sorry.
I
I
can't see.
accidentally exited. Apologies.
Ethical and cultural considerations. Respect closed traditions. Voodoo and Santeria initiated traditions that require formal training, lineage, and consecration under a priest or priestess. These practices are not open to casual adoption. Attempting to practice without proper initiation in both spirituality and ineffective and cultural disrespect. So you can actually disrespect someone by not being part of their heritage. Avoid cultural appropriation. Do not mimic sacred rituals without understanding their historical culture and their spiritual context. Appropriation occurs when elements of marginalized culture are taken out of context for aesthetic
Aesthetic.
or personal gain, stripping them of meaning and
Oh, I think I
that
was
is
supposed to
like
take
3 words
classes
all
on
in
them.
one.
Yeah.
Anyways, Hoodoo is open, but honor its African American roots. While Hoodoo is open practice that anyone can learn, it is essential to acknowledge and honor its original African American folk magic. This tradition was born from the resilience of spiritual and tech and in
Ingenuity.
ingenuity,
Ingenuity. Whatever that word is.
whatever that word is.
Yeah, ingenuity. Yes.
Of enslaved Africans and their descendants. Learn from authentic sources and give credit where credit is due. When in doubt, ask, listen, and give back. Engage with practitioners from the tradition who wish to learn about, listen to their experiences and perspectives, support their communities through ethical purchases, donations, or amplifying their voices. Approach ancestral work with humility, recognizing that these practices are a living tradition with deep hosts and ongoing cultural significance. Personalizing your altar in summary. Personalizing your altar. Pre-ancestral over altars does not require
Creating.
elaborate tools or extensive knowledge. The most important element is
Sincere intention.
sincere and genuine connection to those who came before you. Start simple. Begin with just a photo of your ancestor, a white candle for
Illumination.
illumination. Sorry, that's two words together. And a glass of water for spiritual refreshment. This basic setup is honored across multiple traditions and provide a solid foundation for ancestral work. Add meaningful items. As your practice develops, incorporate handwritten notes, favorite heirlooms of the deceased, and objects that remind you of your specific ancestor. These personal touches strengthen the energetic connection. Let it evolve. Your relationship with your ancestor is alive and dynamic. Allow your altar to change with the seasons, with your spiritual growth, and with new insights to receive through dreams, manifestation, and signs. Summary: common threads. Despite their differences in cultural expression, ritual structures, and symbolic language, their ancestor altar traditions, these fundamental principles that ascend individual practice. Number one, reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. That's it. I practice that word all day long, and I still got it wrong. The exchange of offerings for guidance creates a mutually beneficial relationship between the living and the dead. Sacred space. The altar serves as a portal, a dedicated threshold where communication
Hi,
between the
Becky.
worlds become possible.
Nice to have you.
Timing. Align work with natural and spiritual cycles amplifies the power of the ancestral connection. Intention. Sincerity matters more than perfectionism. The heart of the practice is ties in general reverence and remembrance. And I think, is that it? Or I think that's it. Well, you have some resources if you like some resources. You have your Hoodoo Voodoo, your important festival dates we've already gone over, and your ethical sourcing we've gone over. So this is just an extra slide that you have it, and your note slides as well. So if you want to print it out and make notes, go back and re-listen to it. Or you can print it out and make your notes so you'll have them for Samhain whenever it comes at the end of the month. Anybody have questions, Jess?
Yeah, before we end, does anyone have any questions? If you do you want to put your hand up and I can call out, or unmute yourself? Then I know you want to speak. That way I can call out to you. Just that way not everyone's answering at
Or
once.
anybody has any comments, you can comment.
Yeah, please. Everyone's like leaving. Okay, Anna, would you like to go?
Yeah. So I love the presentation. Really, really awesome and
I thought so too.
interesting. And I have several questions. So number one, the
Well, we have
crossroads.
a question from Michelle. Oh, were you asking a question?
Yes,
Yes.
we'll go
Okay,
next
Anna,
after
what's the
Okay.
Anna.
question?
We'll get to yours next then, Michelle. Go ahead.
About the crossroads.
Uh-huh.
Can we do it near house or it needs to be far away to don't backlash, for example?
It depends on your work that you're doing. If
Yeah.
you're doing like a spell jar or if you're doing like a justice spell or something like that, I wouldn't do it near your house or a banishing or a binding.
Right.
I wouldn't do that near your house. But if it's something like a gentle work or an innocence work or a love, something along intuition or female magic, any of that you can do more towards where you live than the other. The other, I always say, go across a bottle of water and go to your crossroads there if you can. If it's a binding, banishing, or something that is,
So river, stream,
yep,
creek, whatever it
anything
is.
flowing that's water.
Hmm.
That's
Okay.
easy in Florida.
About the ancestor's grave. When you get the dirt from the ancestors, that
Hmm.
dirt will allow you to be in touch with all your ancestors or only with the ancestor you took the dirt.
It will allow you access to
Interesting.
all of your ancestors depending upon, okay, it's kind of a twofold thing. Okay. Um,
I feel like
you
there's a
can
lot
like
of
as
research that goes
example, if
behind
I
that.
take dirt from my mom's grave, that's gonna be my mom's lineage. Whereas if I take it from my
Oh, I
dad's
Yeah.
grave, it's
see.
gonna be
I
my
see.
dad's
Okay.
lineage.
So
Makes
you may
sense?
Okay.
not get exactly who you wanted to talk to, but you'll get somebody, and that's exactly what Carolyn was saying too. You could
Yes.
get someone in your lineage who was a trickster, someone that plays tricks on you, or is just going to give you riddles to try to figure out how to, get where you want to go. You may not just get a straight answer that you're looking for.
Yeah.
I already have the riddles. I'm tired of them. I need a straight answer.
That's what I mean, though, right? But
I wish
Michelle,
I would have had that education when I had my court cases with my brother. Because I think
mm,
that would have been handled a lot quicker because I would have called on my mom and my dad to help. Whereas I didn't really do that when that court case was active. And it was active for
yeah.
almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Michelle, you had a question?
She
I
did.
didn't.
It was in the chat.
She wanted to know about asking. How do
Yes.
you ask permission? Um, you ask permission either in your mind or out loud. And I would simply just say, I'm here for my mom's name is Joyce, as an example. I'm here to speak to Joyce Daniels. I need to speak with her because of I have a court case with my brother and I need help with it. But make sure you have clear intent when you ask and make sure you're to the point of what you want. Because if you're not, then that's where the trickster can come in. If you say specifically, okay, mom, I want you to talk to Glenn about what's going on in whatever way you can through his dreams or whatever, and have a change of his heart, or if it's not going to happen, then it's not going to happen. But this is what I want, this is what I need, and be very clear with your intent is the main thing. It's not so much in how you ask, as whether it's silently or whether you do it out loud. It's in what you say. I hope that answered your question, Michelle.
I think it does. But how do you receive the answer?
I myself ask for a specific sign. Like, as an example, if I see a crow, it'll mean this. Or if I see a white feather, it'll mean that. or if I run across a license plate that has the number 333 on it, as an example. Be specific in how you want your answer, and that's how you'll get it. But if you don't give them a way to answer you, then it can be up in the air how they say it. You just
Okay,
have to be open to it and feel it in your heart and with your intention.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. It was nice having you tonight, by the way, Michelle.
Yeah, it was great joining you guys. Thank you so
Definitely.
much.
And it's really nice to see new faces.
Always.
Always. Any other questions in the chat, Anna? Did you
Yeah,
see? Or Jess?
in the chat, I don't know. I still have
There
more
You have
questions.
some more questions? No,
There
ask
wasn't
away, baby.
really,
That's
yeah,
what
there
we're
really
here
wasn't any
for.
more
That's-
questions in the chat as of more just really cool stuff that someone put down. If you don't mind me just reading this quick, Anna, before you go, because I thought this was cool.
Sure, sure. Go
I
ahead.
think the
I have
person might have
so
left. It was by Beck. It says, I'm not sure it's possible. Actually, see, we had a very, oh wait, it started with, I live close to Crown Hill Cemetery. John Dillinger is buried here in a highly fortified grave. She goes on to say, I'm not sure it's possible. Actually, see, we had a very prolific grave robber around the time of his death, and a lot of people thought the feds had killed a double, so his family didn't want the body stolen and put like steels and concrete over multiple layers of the 6 feet. Otherwise, the grave robber's name was Rufus Cantrell. His whole thing was digging up corpses and selling them in medical schools.
Wow.
Ew.
That was a big thing back in the
There was a lot of
1800s.
that. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on.
There was a lot of that
I just
going
saw
on.
that shared and I had
When
to
it-
voice it 'cause I didn't think the person
Yeah.
was still here to share it.
No, Beck had to leave.
Yeah.
Her shoulder was hurting,
Oh, right. Okay.
but that was cool.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
I
very
thought so
cool.
too. But yes, Anna, you're up for it now, girl.
Okay. Again, about the cemetery.
No.
What can we
I know
do
it smells good.
when
You want some of it?
the graveyard, the tombs in the cemetery are not made of dirt; they are stone,
Okay.
marble
Mhm.
stone.
All right. Well, there's always like, I'd take a little bitty broom with me, like the cinnamon broom or whatever, just a little small broom. And I would just sweep up whatever dirt is on there because dirt always collects. There's
Mhm.
always detritus, there's always leaves and, things that fall to the ground. So there's always going to be something, sand, dirt, whatever it is. There'll always be something there. And it
Even
doesn't have to be a lot.
Is it
even
even in
the
between?
rotten petals of the flowers that we put on the graveyards.
Yeah,
Can we
that's
put
all.
those?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Cool.
That's all part of it.
And what about the dirt that I don't know
Yes,
if,
from the
if you have
cemetery.
gardens inside the cemeteries there, but what about the dirt that are in the gardens? I mean, I know it won't call your
Oh.
ancestors, but probably will call all the spirits, right?
Well, you can actually take the dirt at the gates of the cemetery as well. The cross that's considered a crossroads
And a liminal space
and a
too.
liminal space.
Hmm. And
So,
what
like
do I
as an
have?
example, if you have like
You don't even have to go in.
no, just go to the gates.
Just sweep up
I
some
like,
stuff.
to be honest, I like to enter cemeteries because I feel like in home. I really feel welcome inside cemeteries. It's weird, I know, but I feel welcomed.
No,
And
there's many witches that feel that way.
Yep.
There's many witches that
Many
feel
witches feel that way.
I actually
So
talked with
you're
my
not weird here.
great grandmother there.
Is there
That's
is there dirt
wonderful.
like in between? You said they're like stone, or is it like concrete? or is it stone?
It's made of marble, but like Karen said, I can swipe some of the
Mm-hmm.
dirt that gets
Uh-huh.
on the top of the
Uh-huh.
marble, and
Yep.
also the rotten flowers. I leave there. I leave
Yep.
them fresh, but again to rot. So maybe I
Well,
can use that.
They'll dry
yes.
out, and you can use them
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
in the
just
spell work.
crush it all up together in a mortar and pestle.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you bring back, just grind it up in a mortar and pestle, and then
If
put it
it's in the
all in
grave,
the
it's them.
graveyard dirt. All of it.
Cool. Another question: does the crossroads, the things to be done in the crossroads, needs to be done at night, or can it be during the day too?
It can be done during the day, or it can be done at noon, or it can be done at midnight. At dawn, I'm sorry, at dawn and at midnight. And the reason why they say dawn is because that's when your liminal space has power. That's the
Right.
best timing. You can go during the day and do the same thing, but it's not going to have as the timing is not going to
Right.
be as good
Just
as
think
it.
amplification.
There you go. I was about to say amplification or amplify it. I won't amplify it as much. So amplification is what you're looking for whenever you go at dawn and whenever you go at midnight.
There's another time that's a liminal time, and that is dusk.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I
I
was
don't
thinking
know
about
if
that.
dusk is considered, in Crossroads magic, but I would think dusk would be an equally powerful time with dawn. But I'd wait until, the shadows are really falling at dusk and then do it. If you don't want to go in the middle of the night, I'm fine with going in the middle of the night. I don't care.
No, I don't mind it either. It's just
Do they
Except I
close
don't like
it?
to drive at night.
I like to walk during the night. Just the problem is the lot of cameras, lot of
Ah.
people at the windows.
Ah,
Ah.
yes. So it may be best for you to go when others are not there.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
first thing in the morning. If you're a morning person, first thing in the morning at dawn, great time to go. I'm not a morning person.
I'm not a morning person.
Nope.
Midnight would be a lot easier for me than
It's a
dawn.
torture every day to wake at 7 a.m. to prepare kids.
Believe me, I remember. I
Okay, last
remember.
question. This is not actually question. This is a doubt or confusion. When you said gratitude in the slides when
Mhm.
we about the crossroads, it
Yeah.
says gratitude, return to thank them, even if just in your mind silence is seen as betrayal. So I don't think I understand it, but the way I understand it is you can't go back and thank them or even thinking about thank them. Is it that or
That's after your petition has been granted, go back and thank them. Now, when you go in and you say, I need this or that, walk away, don't look back, and know they're going to do it. Once they do it, even if you go back just in your mind to say thank you, I appreciate what you did for me, and this is, you know,
Hey,
what happened.
it's
This is
about
what's
having
going
faith.
on. So whenever you get your answer, make sure you say thank you.
oh, okay, so that's the thing. I read this wrong. I made a confusion because I think this was saying we couldn't thank because they would see that as a betrayal.
No, no, you
Okay.
thank them after your petition's been granted.
And,
Okay.
they love tobacco. Leave
Uh
a
huh.
cigarette,
And
you
I
know.
rum.
know the lady from the shop incorporated her Orisha, the
Okay.
Preta Velha, that's the name.
Mm.
And I was in the store when that happened. It wasn't for me, it was for another lady that was there. But she asked me when she incorporated, she asked me for a cigarette because she knew I was a smoker and I had tobacco. So
Mm-hmm.
she asked
Uh-huh.
me for a cigarette. And after she smoked a little bit, because the lady of the shop doesn't smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So when she smoked a little bit, she started to talk about the other lady that was there needed to do. And I loved that experience. It was awesome.
It sounds
Well,
like it was.
yeah. It sounds like there's some liminal or crossroads type magic being done there
Mm-hmm.
that day. So that was really cool for you to be able to see that. But yeah, just
My
like
mother was there
think
too.
the
She was all with goosebumps on her arms. I was like, yay, finally.
now you can see what I'm talking about.
And I
Yeah.
find it interesting that different graves would mean different things. Like, as an example, you
Yes.
have your female grave is for love and intuition, whereas your male grave is for summoning spirits and justice work.
And some traditions will tell you to only go to the graves of people you know.
Mm-hmm.
Others will tell you you can go to any grave, any child's grave, or any female grave, or any male grave, or whatever. And utilize the energy. So it just, whatever aligns with your own personal beliefs, I would say is the right answer.
Yes.
Whatever feels right, whatever feels like it's authentic to you is what to do. But yeah, always bring some kind of an offering. Things that crossroads deities really dig, like tobacco and rum and
Candy.
yeah, candy, Dr. Pepper. That one cracked me up.
That one cracked me up.
I thought that was funny.
About the candies, I had an array, well, in Portuguese, array, in my house. And that array actually followed me. Apparently, the Orishas want to talk with me. And he actually asked for candies. That day I had Skittles. So I put some Skittles in a bowl, and also give him a white candle for
Mm-hmm.
him to know I appreciate he came with me.
There,
So
that's
yeah, it
good.
was funny. I knew it was him because it smelled like fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
you
I
don't have a
never,
sense of smell. So if you
yeah.
smell
Yep.
something, then yeah.
And in the spirit world, I never had sent the smell of fruit. So I did my research. I asked the lady in the store too, and she said it was an ere. The ere, it came to give me the message that the Orishas want to talk with me. And actually, my preta velha and my preto velho already showed up in my dreams. They didn't say their name, but they did smile to me, so I'm waiting for the next.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds awesome.
Yep. You've been doing crossroads magic without doing it. Ancestral work, should I say, without doing it.
Well, I don't have more questions. Thank you. And yeah, I love this one.
I did too. I think this is great.
Sorry, guys. I'm just not.
I am
feeling
not.
too hot lately.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what it is.
Get some rest.
I feel nauseous.
I'll try to.
So I do apologize.
Are there any other questions in the chat, Anna, that you can see? Anna?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, well, I'm going to stop the recording now, guys.
All right.